So Einstein says time is relative, and it all has to do with gravity and stuff like that. I think the gravity of today's situation is very severe. It's got me concerned, and I don't know what time it is, Craig.
Especially since you didn't go to bed on time last night.
I know I stayed up very late, and I'm crabby, but I got a new idea for a business. Napsforeveryone.com. Napsforeveryone.com. But Craig still doesn't help me. I don't know what time it is.
It's time for an audit.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the one and only Friday Night Audit, the only show in hospitality that hurts so much to watch. We put the hospital in hospitality. How are you, Craig Sullivan?
I'm great, brother. How are you doing, weekend?
I'm doing all right. I'm Glenn Hausman. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you joining us for our Friday Night Audit. We get to have a couple of drinks, have a couple of laughs, mostly at Dave's expense, but he's too chicken to be here right now. So who knows what's going on? Sully Fridays. How are you thinking about the weekend? You excited?
I'm excited. Yeah. Been a lot of stuff going on with the conference, but it's this weekend, it's the Super Bowl. It's way too much football, and I get to stay home with the puppy and just chill. Probably go sit on the beach for a little bit, maybe take a book down there. Probably not the book because the dog's going to want to play, but be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the weekend as well, but we've got a returning guest. Craig, what is it with these people? Don't they learn their lessons? What's going on over here? Why do they come back?
No, they love us. They love us. That's why.
So who do we got today?
We've got the one, the only Jessica Janis. And welcome to the show, Jessica. How are you?
Hey. Doing good. Happy Friday.
How are you doing?
Friday.
Fantastic. Back from Florida, hanging on my patio here in Southern California. Can't complain.
Nice.
The weather's beautiful. Hey, Daniel, how are you? Weather's been beautiful here. I mean, it's 73 where I'm at, Jess. It's got to be pretty close to that where you're at.
It feels that warm as the sun's creeping in. It's kind of chilly in the shade, but I would say it's about 71, 72.
Right. Yeah. I'd like to thank Big Oil for sponsoring the global warming that's bringing me 55-degree weather here in the middle of February in New York. I'm in a t-shirt. I should be in my full leisure wear with lots of layers, but no need for that. Oh well. All right, sorry about that.
Green and blurry.
Dude, all my something's going on. The universe is turning against my electronics. So now I must have unplugged the light that's over there, which is why I look like that Star Trek episode. I don't know if some of you guys, some of the older people might know what I'm talking about over there. I'm thinking I should try to get that other light on.
I've got a story on that.
Yeah?
So I was on maybe on a podcast, maybe just on a work webinar, and I think I blew somebody up on a text message, like talking smack.
Yeah.
And it went to somebody who was sharing their screen, so the whole audience saw what I was saying. And I immediately went like this to cover my screen, like nobody would see what I had texted. We're still friends. We're all good, but yeah, that doesn't work very well.
Sadly, you're working for different companies now. But before we get into this, I'm thirsty, so it's got me wondering, Jazz. What are you drinking tonight?
After all spritzes, I'm popping bottles.
I love popping bottles.
Always good for a Friday. We'll see how this ends, right? Not in my face, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do this without breaking a window.
Yay! That's great.
Oh my God. So yes, it's just a shot of Aperol, a bunch of champagne, and some sparkling water.
Nice.
Excellent.
It's a summer drink.
Yeah. Hey, it's always summer here.
You live at the beach. California
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So
hey,
last time producer Dave was talking about weed trucks. What's he going to talk about today if he shows up?
I don't know, but I'm always up for talking about those fake weed trucks.
are they on every corner in Manhattan?
I don't know. I'm not in Manhattan very much, but you know, I don't like miscommunicating and misinformation to the general public. You know, I think people should be able to make decisions based on fact and stuff like that. So it really bothers me when they trick people. It's the same thing with those fake stores on you know, on the strip. Speaking of Dave, he's just popping on backstage. So aren't you excited?
Here
No.
we go.
Well, you're gonna be so excited because I'm popping on to say
How did jokes say, Dave?
I'm popping on to say I got to pop off.
Oh no.
Because, well, not necessarily pop off, but I got to take the show on the road because I do got to get home and take care of some fatherly duties. So I'm gonna just be wrapping up this. I'm gonna email myself the link. We're gonna try and take the show on the road
That's gonna be exciting.
and
Now,
see if it works. And then I'm
when-
sure between now and then I'll be able to find some good jokes.
I doubt
Are you gonna
if it hasn't worked this far in 86 episodes, I don't think it'll start now. But good
Listen,
luck.
I've heard rumors that yesterday was the single best rated episode of the PM shift, simply because of my comments and nothing to do with you.
Well, it was good in spite of us, I guess. That's nice. That's the way. Yeah.
That's a fair way to put it. That's a very fair way. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree. Bye,
So,
David.
So Jess, I like the idea of your drink. It's light, it's fresh, it's probably really refreshing, easy to drink, right?
At 2:00 in the afternoon, I didn't think I needed to start with tequila yet, so it's a good way to ease in.
Yeah, well, we learned that early on because you know, as
Not early
regular
enough.
viewers of the show, no, we went a little too crazy with drinks like tequila early on, and that would be kind of you know, messing it up. Mike is saying champagne on FNA. This is first classy. Well, someone needed to class up the
I
place.
might thank you.
We're glad it's the
That's always
hospitality
really
fiber
classy.
queen. Yeah.
Well, and I had an idea for you guys. I'd like to come on, and I'm already requesting my next episode because that's what I do. But I want to come on for the Halloween episode, and we're all getting dressed up.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot of
Ooh.
fun.
You know what? Come
Any
to my
reason?
house, Jess, in
Yeah.
your costume. So
For
yeah,
sure. Yes.
I've got
We'll make a party out of it that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do a Halloween costume at some point again in my
Yeah.
life.
No,
That'd
I
be-
love
Or maybe
that.
we do themed FNAs. You know, let's do a different theme every week.
Maybe I
some
still
stuff
maybe I still have some in my closet from when I was a kid. So maybe I'll pull one of those out. I'm sure they'll still fit just beautifully.
Now
Yeah.
everybody's frozen but me. So
Uh,
there's Glenn. He's
I'm good.
back.
Yeah, Antonio says, "Hey, it's 5:00 somewhere. 5:00 here on the East Coast. Yes, it is 5:00 here where I live. 2:00 by then, but they don't care. Also, the folks in Singapore, they're waking up with us having a cocktail instead of coffee. You know, because it's 6 a.m. over there. Well, now
Mimosas in Singapore and Abu Dhabi. So
yeah, Mike says,
Do we have people over there?
they've dressed up every episode as a producer. Well, we have people over there, whether or not they're watching.
yeah, we don't know.
I don't know about that. Probably have better things to do at 6 a.m. Although I can't think of a single one off the top of my head right now.
Well,
You know?
Glenn, you only know what 6 a.m. looks like because you may be coming home. Okay, you're not
Right.
going out. And I'm not far behind you. Okay, it's like I'm not leaving anywhere for be there.
Yeah, I remember those days when coming in at that hour was not unusual. You
Yeah.
know?
I haven't done that in a long time, and it had to have been Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
And I'm sure I don't remember much. So yeah.
There's nothing. I don't think there's other cities that like New Orleans. That's another city
New
that
Orleans is
you could
another
do
one,
that
yeah.
in, and I have done that in. You know, the great thing about New Orleans, the way you can accidentally stay up all night is you just start going from bar to bar and listening to some music and getting some food and then going to another bar. And then before you know it, you're eating at the hot dog carts on the streets at 4 a.m. And then you just keep going from there for breakfast and got to get to Cafe Du Monde. So, you know, then I guess we're at 6 a.m. at that point, you know?
All I know is I've left Dre's at 6 a.m. in Vegas. That's it.
Yes,
I'm
me
on
too.
my way out. Enough is enough.
I want to say in my recent years, and I'll put it at prior to COVID, you guys can figure it out from there. I did I think Cascade might have been spinning or something at some club at Wynn, and walked out, at the end of his set and started gambling. And all of a sudden I look at my watch and my plane is like, I'm boarding in an hour and a half. Like, I'm too old for this. It was a fun night, but it was like, I haven't lost track of time like that in many years.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. But also awesome is when you get onto the plane and you sit down in that seat and you're like, made it. I love that feeling.
Yeah.
But a 45-minute flight home and they're shaking to wake you up isn't the best look either.
Flight. At least I buckle in for 4.5-hour flight home, so I have a chance to get some good REM sleep, and nobody has to wake me up like that. For sure.
When I officed over at Universal Studios, we had a place down the street, French restaurant called Maison Gerard's. Great food, great bar, and they had these fake windows in the bar. And as it got darker outside, they were quietly adjusting the lights upward. So you had no idea what freaking time it was. And you'd walk out of there. You went in there at 5:01, okay? And it was now 10:01. And you're going, oh, shit, I got to get home.
It's like Bagatelle in New York.
Yeah.
Never know what time it is walking out of there.
Yeah.
The good old days. That was a lot of fun. But so, how does the hospitality fiber queen spend her nights these days when going out?
Oh, going out doesn't happen much. I'm in bed down here by 9 o'clock. I'm up early for work and stuff. But now my 15-year-old son keeps me busy.
Yeah,
I play Uber mom.
Yeah.
So back and forth between golf courses and the beach and all the fun. So
yeah, I know what you mean because my kids are in college now. This is their first year, and I don't have much going on yet. The conference calendar hasn't really kicked in too much, and I haven't been doing much traveling. And I feel like a wayward soul because I don't have to drive people places. I suddenly have like 20 hours a day back to me. I don't, without the driving around. Sometimes I catch myself just driving to my kids' old high school, waiting for them to come out of band in the hopeless futility that they'll get in the car. But I got nothing better to do. So
yeah, wait till the policeman knocks on your window. Hey,
yeah, that's a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Principal comes out. Mr. House,
don't go here
graduated a year ago. Oh.
Well, I'll say it is really strange though that like I would go there every day for 4 years, and then suddenly it's just that whole part of my community I just don't ever see anymore. So that's really strange, and I don't really see anything anymore except my backyard and the Stop and Shop. That's about all I do. Right
People
here.
on the screen. Yeah, my son goes to the school I went to for high school, so it's a bit of a trip dropping him off there because a lot hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did I really leave my books in my locker and miss my finals? Those dreams that you have that did I really finish high school? And then I flash back as I'm dropping them off. I'm like, okay, I think I finished.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah, for sure. The high school thing was so weird. At the end of high school, we would take all of our notebooks and stuff like that, throw them in a big pile in the middle of the football field, and then burn them. I don't think that you would get away with that.
No,
now.
that's arson today.
Yeah, in the 80s, that was just kids having a good time.
That wouldn't fly. No.
Yeah.
If it happened today, it'd be on live Instagram and stuff. Fun to watch.
Speaking about live Instagram, warm weather Dave is
it's supposed to be warm today and it's freezing.
What are you talking about? I got 55 over by me.
Yeah, but I'm walking through Midtown. It's cold as hell. Look, I'm wearing my hoodie. I wore my hoodie this morning. Thinking it was going to be warm. It was actually really warm this morning. I rolled my sleeves up, and now I'm frigid.
Oh my God! Is that because the breeze is a little too much for you, buddy?
I think it's the wind tunnel that is New York City and Manhattan, unfortunately. So I got to walk across town I could take the bus and hang up on you guys, but I'm going to decide to make your lives better and grace you with my presence as I walk across.
So you're taking the bus?
Oh, we love it. We love it. So, David, ask people what they think of the weather as you walk past them. Get them on camera.
How long have we been doing this show for, Glenn?
This would be the 86th time that you're going to say no to that request.
Because it's never going to happen. But I am excited.
Dave, now that you're on, I have a question for you. I had a unique experience at a hotel, and I want to know if this ever happened to you and how you handled it.
All right, go for it.
All right, so I get to I won't even name the hotel property in Fort Lauderdale this week, and I get my key, early check-in, 10 a.m., walk up to the room, and there's a Do Not Disturb sign on. And I use the key, and it works. And there's somebody in there yelling at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I shut the door really fast and I ran.
I would too, yeah.
To the question of, does this happen? Absolutely. There's not one hotel employee in the world that has worked front desk that has not had this happen to them.
Right.
Most of the
failure.
It is. Most of the time, what happens is it's a not a system failure per se, as much as it's a manual failure operating the system. So it's a couple different things that could happen. Could have been, they did a room move and did not actually move the room in the system. It could have been that they were checking in a guest and didn't complete the check-in process. Could have been system outage or power outage of some sort, that they had to do some manual check-ins during that time and they missed catching that room up.
Yeah, got it.
So
here's the thing, and this is where they handled it phenomenally, and I will drop the hotel name now. It's a Renaissance in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And they literally were mortified. They apologized, and they gave me the biggest suite in the building. So it was lovely.
Yeah.
But they were baffled. They said it was shown clean and empty the night before, and someone was there.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. That happens. It's called the discrepancy, obviously. Room discrepancy, vacant clean. In Marriott world, it's called VC'd. And then someone's in the room again from any of the number of reasons I just gave. Also could have been, and now this is not what happened, or doesn't sound like this is what happened in this scenario, but there are scenarios where employees go sleep in rooms without permission.
No.
Employees.
That's what I was hoping. Is there like two employees and they're doing some fun things? Yeah.
Employees give keys to friends without permission, and the friend forgets to leave on time, which has happened to me at a hotel where we had to terminate an employee because of that.
Oh my.
So it doesn't sound like that's what happened in this scenario, but more than likely it was some sort of system error. Somebody punched a room status improperly. Somebody checked out the room. Very possible.
Yeah, I wanted a fun story. So that's the next thing of maybe later. Dave.
Well, I don't know if you call this story fun, but I was at a conference and this woman was laying the story about how she walked into a room and the gentleman inside was having an intimate experience with himself at that very moment. So that wasn't very good. She got her stay for free and also an upgrade to a big room for that.
Yeah, there's really not much worse in the terms of what can be a consistent service failure. Obviously there's certain things that are worse that you won't possibly or hopefully ever see, but this is something that does happen. I won't say often or fairly often, but it is something that happens at times. And this is probably the worst one, because not only are you startling two guests or two sets of guests, but there's obviously a huge security violation here that, while it's certainly not malicious, and it's not intentional, and 99% of the time it's going to end up safely, because the guest inside is going to be just as scared as the guest outside, and the door is going to close and it's all going to be okay. But there is that opportunity now for, let's say a guest is not inside the room and a person not like Jess, but someone a little more nefarious, you know, has now access to an empty room and there's electronics, and money, and passports, and other sensitive documents. Or let's say it's a.
I usually leave when I'm in a hotel. I usually leave classified documents sprayed around the room just in case.
The ones you forgot to mail back to Washington D.C.
You know, there's obviously there's sexual deviants that now have access to a room, and I say that can go both ways. You know, male to female, female to male, or any other number of combinations. So
like dominatrix stuff.
You know, worse than that.
He's talking about barnyard animals.
Not consensual style.
Right.
Oh God.
You know, so there's just a lot of security issues on top of the certainly the jarring nature of it. And as a hotelier, there's really no excuse for it, right? I mean, there's reasons it happens. It's a mistake. But at the end of the day, the number one job of a hotel or anybody providing accommodations is safety. And in that moment, it's not like a dirty room. It's not like the toilet clogged up. It's not like the HVAC broke down. This is a, tier 1 safety issue that you have there's no way to explain that away that's going to make it okay.
Right.
Well, and to lighten up this a little bit, make it a little more innocent. So a girlfriend had something similar happen. She dropped her stuff off in a room, went and took a couple meetings and came back. And there were baby clothes laid out on the bed that weren't there earlier.
Oh my God.
And she doesn't have a baby. And so nobody could explain what had happened, who got the key, if it was housekeeping, like something very bizarre happened there. And those are the kind of things that's like, is that a ghost?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I'm like, it was a ghost.
Was the Stanley Hotel in Colorado?
There's nothing.
Hotel Del.
There's nothing worse than that happening. There's nothing worse than when a guest comes down with that scenario. The only thing that second worst that, meaning it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad, is when you have a person in a room that's found by an employee, or they happen to call down, or something indicates that there's a guest physically in that room,
right?
But they're not in the system,
right?
And now you have to figure out who that guest is. And obviously the quick answer is call the guest and ask them their last name, which is what typically happens. But if Night Audit finds that out due to some kind of error,
right,
you really don't want to call that guest at 3 a.m. and be like, "Hey, who are you?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
if the door is bolted and they're not picking up the phone, that becomes a security issue for those working at the hotel. So.
Well, there's that too. I mean, the good thing is, we have protocols for that. Obviously, wellness checks, deadbolts on, top lock is locked. There's ways to get into rooms. With tools that are on hotel property and obviously secured by the proper teams, but it's just not a good situation. It's not one you want to be in.
Dave, you sound like a real GM. This is exciting.
I know. Like, look at you, Dave. I knew you were the one to ask.
All right.
Yes, any time that you have a real big fuck up, make sure you come contact me because I've probably been in the middle of one.
All right, hold on one second. Mike. Mike is saying that he was comped over in Reno and went directly to bed or passed out. Woke up next to a very nice elderly couple the next morning.
Oh, Mike, how'd that end for you? Did they cuddle?
I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I am not saying a word.
Yeah, we're not. This show is going to get taken off the air real fast if we touch that.
Mike put it in writing. I mean,
the couple said they didn't want to wake me. He says.
Yeah, but there's really not much more that Mike or anybody else can do to lower Mike's cred than Mike's already done by himself. So
that's a very good point.
there's a very low level left amount to go to the floor for Mike McManus.
That's funny. So nothing like that has ever happened to me before. Hold on one second. Mike says they bought him breakfast.
Mike wins. That's so much better than my story.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. So they couldn't wake him. That's hysterical.
All right, so this opens up a topic for conversation.
But why
Yeah.
did they stay? Why didn't they just go back downstairs and go give us another room?
Well, no,
Yeah.
I think Mike is the one who got put into their room.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oh my God.
So here
Dave,
goes a story. Here's a good topic for conversation. Glenn, Craig, you guys have traveled and stayed in many a hotel. Glenn, you already said this has not happened to you, which is great. But
Yeah.
what is the? And certainly not going to mention the hotel, but what would say the largest and most severe service failure you've ever experienced?
I've got a crazy one that's kind of in that vein. But what about you, Sully?
Not so much in that vein, but Arizona Biltmore. I had put in a wake-up call.
I said, don't say the hotel. And Craig's first thing he does is say the hotel. Great job, Craig.
Well, but it was more embarrassing than anything else. I did not hear the phone ring. That's how sound asleep I was.
Wellness check.
And then they sent security, and they used those tools that David was talking about, and they opened up because I always double lock the door. They opened the door, came in, and then I woke up at that point. What the hell are you? Who are you? Mr. Sullivan? I said, yeah. You didn't answer your wake-up call. We were checking to make sure you were all right. I said, no, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah,
Wow.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you do.
Yeah. So I they did their job. They were checking on me. Probably the biggest failure, and I won't mention the name, is I've got a buddy of mine who's got several hotels here in California, and this really isn't a good story, but he's had a suicide at every one of his hotels.
Oh, so he's the jinx.
Yeah. And, there was one guy that tried to hang himself from the ceiling fan.
Right.
And luckily the ceiling fan broke. So
Was he dressed?
Yes, he was dressed.
Okay, that's bonus.
Yeah. But, he's had a suicide.
You thought he was talking about Michael Hutchins there for a second, didn't you?
Was it Jeffrey Epstein?
Right.
I mean,
And for you, Glenn?
Jess, did you have another story?
I
like
don't
that?
have anything.
All right.
No, not huge service failure in hotels.
So I'm absolutely want to be very clear that I'm not saying that this took place at the hotel that Sully may have mentioned, but I was at a hotel and I had my balcony windows open. The motherfuckers came in from the balcony and robbed me and stole my wallet from me. And by the time I woke up the next morning, they had already charged a bunch of stuff to my credit cards, and then the hotel tried to blame me for it and didn't help me at all. And I was supposed to catch a flight that day, and I had no wallet, no ID, no money, nothing. Everything was taken from me that would be able to get me home, and they basically blamed me for it. I wound up staying at that particular property one more night. I had somebody that helped me get a new Amex card. It was a complete cluster F. And then when I get to the airport with no ID, I had to go through a whole
Security
Q&A thing with the mysterious person on the phone that knew much more about my life than I realized that people should know about your life on the other end of the phone. Yeah.
But now, do you know why?
Because he's on Facebook.
No. Do you know why they basically skirted blame?
Oh yeah, because if they can't say they're culpable for it, but they didn't even help. Like they could have been like, well, we can't blah blah blah, but we'd absolutely love to make sure that you get fed today. We help you with that Amex card.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the second that they start now the Amex, helping you with the Amex card and whatnot, that's different. But the second they give you any type of compensation, a free breakfast, a free drink, free points,
They're acknowledging
that can be used as an admission of blame.
Yeah. That being said, a year later, I may have returned to said resort because there's an event that I was going to there every year.
That place is crap. I know what you're talking about.
I had a massive suite for 5 nights, comped with food sent to my room every night and all sorts of stuff to make up for it. So,
but would you have your sister or daughter stay in this hotel alone?
I know what the problem was because of the. Ever since then, I've never slept with my balcony windows open, the doors open. I mean, you could say I'm partially responsible. And the architecture of this particular hotel, all of the balconies were kind of connected in some sort of way with a public walkway at the end, and you're able to hop. So at the end of the day, really, I opened myself up to have that happen. Still shouldn't have happened on that particular property. But ever since then, I've never been able to sleep with my windows open, which I freaking love so much. So yes, I would have my daughter stay at that property if I had a daughter, because they wouldn't make such a dumb mistake that I made. I would make sure that didn't happen.
Right. Oh.
This is what happens when you take somebody from Long Island and put in and try to have street smarts. It just doesn't go well. Guess I found one more. Guess I found one more joke.
I know.
Yeah, that was a good one, David. That was a good one. Oh my God.
So I'll give you a funny and embarrassing, but certainly not a service failure story at one of my hotels.
Yeah.
It was a hotel that was in a tough area. During the nighttime, usually from like 7 o'clock to like 4 or 5 in the morning. I forget the exact times.
Right.
But we had off-duty police as our security, and they were armed. And middle of the day, guest comes down to me and just says, "Hey, I think you should check out room so and so. I heard some disturbing things in there." And I'm like, "Okay, what do you mean?" And he's like, "I heard a lady screaming, 'You're hurting me, you're hurting me, stop." And I'm like, "Oh, great." So I happened to see one of the security guards there, which is before his time, but I'm like, "Oh, I guess they came in early today. I don't know." So I tell him, "Hey," oh no, he says, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Good, I gotta go, can you call me? I gotta go check this situation out." He's like, "Oh no, I'm here just getting my check. I'm not actually working." I'm like, "Oh, okay, no problem. Just hang out. Never mind." But now, because he's a cop, he has to check it out.
Right.
So he's like, "No, I have to come with you now. So let's go." So go upstairs. We knock on the door. The gentleman answers the door, very nice, very pleasant, and we tell him, "Is everything okay in here? We got reports of X, Y, and Z." And he starts laughing.
Right.
And he's like, "No, it's not like that. We were having activities."
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay. That makes total sense. Have a great day, sir." But of course, the cop
is like, "Can we talk with her?"
He's like, "Yeah, can we speak to her first?"
Yep.
So he's like, "Babe, pop your head out." So the way that it was, the bed was behind, the corner, which is the bathroom wall. She pops her head out. You can see she's clearly undressed from here up.
Yeah.
It's like, "I'm okay, guys. I'm sorry. It's all good. I'm okay."
Yeah.
So yes, not service failure, but definitely a funny / embarrassing / regular story. So
it definitely doesn't seem like a service failure on his part. So.
I go back down. We go back downstairs after checking it out, and the guy who had reported it is still downstairs, and he's like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "It's all fine." I was like, "You know what? They're just having sex." Like I just said it. Like I was like, "Whatever." So he felt kind of embarrassed, and I'm like, "Listen,
you did the right thing.
I'd rather you have told me and we turned out to be this than you didn't tell me and it turned out to be what it could have been."
Yep.
So it's all ended, good and laughing, and it's a story, thankfully, versus the alternative had he not said something and it had been something serious.
I'll tell you what, they got a great story too. That they were having so much fun, the cops got called on them.
That guy, who was again very nice and sweet, was probably texting all of his friends, putting it on Facebook,
I was about
Instagram.
to flash forward to happy hour.
He definitely gave us a 5-star TripAdvisor for that.
What about sleepwalkers, Dave? Anybody get locked out naked?
Not that I've ever known of sleepwalking, but definitely drunk and intoxicated. I'll give you a story.
Trivia about somebody there's more reports of people sleepwalking and getting locked out of the room and not wearing anything.
If I was I probably wouldn't sleep naked. That'd probably be my first move.
So I've had people pass out in the hallways naked by being just highly intoxicated.
Yeah.
Not that they've just been, not that they've been, what's the word, harmlessly sleepwalking.
Right.
But story I have for you is that I have several stories around this, but I'll just tell one right now. So this is more of the non-hurtful story. I have another story that actually is damaging to a person, so I won't tell that story. But,
Right. Of course.
Yeah, please don't.
So I'm working at another hotel, not the hotel I'm currently at, and this is a pretty big hotel. And the way that the building is shaped, it's like a T.
Right. Is this in Jersey?
It is a Jersey hotel, yes.
Yeah, I know. I think I know which one you're about. Okay, go on.
So it's like a T. So you have a row of rooms going down and a long row of rooms going on the top. So I'm managing the desk at the time, and I get a call and it says, "Hey, there's reports of some guy on one of the floors trying to break into a room." I'm like, "Okay." That said, security's already on the way up. I'm like, okay, but let me go make sure everything's okay. It's nighttime. All the heads of departments are gone, so I'm pretty much in charge of the building at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Go upstairs, come off the elevator, and there's a guy in his wife beater undershirt and underwear, tighty whitey underwear, with his foot jammed to a door like this, trying to get in the door. So I take off sprinting down the hallway. Mind you, my security guard is sauntering down the hallway.
He's getting paid by the hour. That guy's not going anywhere.
I'm sprinting. And Glenn and Craig, you guys have seen me in person.
Yeah.
I'm not a small guy. 6'1", at the time I'm probably 240. And I'm just bull charging this guy.
But now he's 375, just in case anyone's keeping.
So, yeah, a little bit heavier. Now, I can't bull rush anymore. It's more of a slow molasses at this point. But...
No, he's more like the Blob remake.
Yeah, just kind of blob my way over. But so this guy kind of gets scared, gets off the door, and I just said, "Go the fuck in the stairwell," and I basically just shove him into the stairwell.
No.
So now we're in the fire stairwell. He's wearing no clothes. It's freezing because it's winter time, and so at this point, I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Long story short. We have conversation. As we're talking, my director of housekeeping, who also came upstairs, knocked on the room with the door. We find out there's a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old girl in the room by themselves.
Right.
So so they're terrified out of their minds, of course. So I go out to talk to them. I let them know everything's okay. My security guard stays with the guy. He's clearly more than drunk. Like he's drinking and on something else.
Right.
So, talking to the girls, as the girls come, here come the parents.
Right.
I'm thinking, great, I'm going to get an earful from them. I have to talk them down. They were the nicest people in the world.
Right.
Because, came to find out, they left their kids in the room to go drink.
Right.
So they didn't want to,
They didn't want an issue either. Yeah.
Right. So they just wanted to get in the room and call it a day. So they're okay, done with them. Now go back to this guy, and he's talking about the people are trying to kill him, and they're going to hurt him, and this and that.
Oh boy.
And this is but this is exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah, right.
Because my next question is, do you need police assistance?
Right.
And he goes, yes. And bam, call the cops.
There you go.
Of course, I could have called the cops anyway, but you try not to get to that point. But it's easier when they request it.
Yeah.
So, call the police, the Port Authority police. They come over, and they get there very quick. And so they come talk to the guy, and they're like, listen, you need to go back into your room and stay in your room. And he's like,
that's generous of them to say.
Yeah.
And not just take him off. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. You can't tell me what to do.
Oh.
They go again.
I think they can.
I think they can.
Sir.
I think they've got some tools.
And they were very nice and polite.
Right.
These cops, they were not being rude or aggressive. And they're like, sir, we need to please take you back to your room. He says no. So they say, okay. They grab him.
Uh-huh.
Find out his room number. So I told you, we're at a T, right?
Yeah.
So we're at the bottom of the T, and his room is all the way at the end of the other T.
Right, of course.
So we have to go through 2 hallways now. as the police
Did
are now.
the director of housekeeping have any towels with him or her?
So now, I'm going to get to the towel story. Don't worry.
Does the hotel have robes?
So now I have the police, one officer having each arm of this gentleman in their hands. They're dragging him down the hallway as he's screaming. They're trying to kill me. So of course everyone's opening their doors
of
to
course.
see what's going on.
I would be filming with my phone.
Filmed at 11 here. Yeah, boom. Get up.
I think this was before TikTok, though.
So we get over to his room. They pick him up. I open the door for him. They throw him in. They go inside with him and they close the door. During this time, the guest next door opens the door and says, "Is everything okay?" And we're like, "Yes, it's okay. It's just a guest who's not feeling too well." And he's like, "No, I know. I'm the one who called because I opened my door to him peeing on my door." So
that's amazing.
So he says that, I look down at the door, and sure enough, there's a pee mark with dripping down, and then a pee stain on the floor. And I just see my director of housekeeping go, because now she knows who needs to clean that up.
Yeah.
So eventually, the cops put pants on him. They come back out. He's arrested. He gets taken off, and that's the end of the story. But yeah, so that is my one of many sleepwalkers in the hallway.
I got a good pee story. I was at a conference, and dude got so messed up. He was at the front desk and thought that he was at the urinal.
Oh God! Oh my God! How do you get that intoxicated?
It happens. It happens.
Oh my God!
Not to me. It doesn't happen. But I had my friend's husband was at a conference and they forced people to share rooms. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the guy just gets hammered beyond belief, and he's sharing this room with a gentleman from China that doesn't speak a lot of English.
Right.
And the guy, the China fellow, I'm going to use the right terminologies, I think, goes to bed, and my friend's husband decides to go stumbling in drunk at 2, 3 in the morning, whatever, and takes off his clothes, thinks he's peeing. He leans against the wall. China fellow's watching this and pees in the guy's suitcase.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
And
the only way it gets worse is if he's peeing on him in the bed.
In someone else's suitcase. And so this gentleman,
God.
I'm working very hard not to say his name because it's you guys wouldn't know him, but somebody else would.
Yeah, but
literally
that's
wakes up the next morning nude on the bed, and his roommate is gone. And the stories the next day of what the roommate said when he left was just amazing.
I can't even imagine.
But that's why they should never make people share rooms.
Right.
I think it's just gross to have to share a room with a stranger like that. It's crazy.
So let's take the moral of the story here from Jess. It's not that you shouldn't get over intoxicated and pee in suitcases. That's not what we shouldn't be doing.
No,
it's that we shouldn't be sharing rooms.
Don't be sharing
Also, you shouldn't
rooms.
leave your suitcase out. It's vulnerable. Yeah.
The worst experience I ever had was at the old Hilton International in Vegas. And this was probably the second to the last.
And for people who love Vegas, that's currently the Westgate.
Yeah. It was second to the last year of the Tailhook convention. And these are past and current Navy aircraft carrier personnel and pilots.
Was that a hooker scandal or something?
That was part of it, and all kinds of everything else was going on. And
there was like drugs and all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
they were taking rooms that were adjacent but didn't have a connecting door, and they were cutting out parts of the wall. Their squadron logos were all over the elevators and the walls, and just all types of nonsense going on everywhere. And if they were on the casino floor,
how do you get so fucked up that you decide to do a construction project? That's insane. Yeah. So go on. What about the casino floor?
The only way they could go on the casino floor was if they had their dress white uniforms on, and they were not allowed to drink while they were on the casino floor.
Oh, that's lame.
It was out of control every place else in that hotel.
Wow.
It was, I mean, the police were there in force the whole time. I don't know how many people were arrested, and
Glenn,
finally,
Glenn,
like I said, 2 years later, the Navy shut it down. It said no more.
Glenn, do your producer duty and drop Jess out. She asked.
Oh no, I'll be back in 2 seconds. You guys can't see me.
Yeah,
fine. I'm good.
I want everybody to know out there that I made the active decision to leave that there because I knew she'd be back up very shortly.
But I'm glad my shades are down. That could have been bad.
Yeah,
You've never had that happen. You've never had that happen.
Right. Now it says shoot. Yeah. All right. I get it. All right. Now I understand where you're coming from, Dave.
I was wearing a winter sweater. It wasn't working in the sun.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Mike is now saying you can pick your roommate. You can pick your nose. You can't pee in your roommate's suitcase. Life lesson.
Mike, I think there's some other life lessons you need to learn.
There's a Saturday Night Live skit in the 80s when the show's not doing so good that the bit was you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friends' noses. So that was pretty indicative of how bad the series was at that particular.
That's more also indicative of how old Mike is.
Yeah. There's also the skit that was basically no, it's not all you it's not all you want to eat, it's all you can eat, and it ended with them force feeding people at a buffet. I don't understand why that was funny at all.
It sounds like torture.
Yeah, well, that's kind
of sounds like Friday Night Audit as well. So we're just keeping up with the with the times.
No, we don't force feed anybody. Come on.
Yeah.
By us putting this show on every Friday, we are force feeding our terrible comedic timing to them.
I know. Yeah.
All right, Craig. I'm putting the spotlight on you now. What's the most embarrassing story from Flick that you could tell that's not about yourself? You don't have to drop names. Is there any funny things that have happened?
Oh, there's always funny things.
Like legendary stories.
We don't have enough seasoning to have legendary stories. It only, we're just having our 6th conference. But we did have one, and I think it's at the same hotel that we're at for Click 6. This guy could not find his car, and he was sober. Let me stress that right now. And he spent hours walking around the parking structure across the street on every floor, and he still couldn't find his car, and they thought it was stolen. But the security at the hotel did help him find it, and he did get home. And they were pretty convinced he was absolutely sober as well, so they wouldn't let him drive home. So
just didn't remember what floor or what kind of car.
Yeah, didn't remember what floor, what part of the parking structure, nothing. I'll go to Angel Stadium.
Your event, or are you talking about an episode from Seinfeld?
No, this is at Click 3. So
you should have known Purple 23. That's where he was parked.
But every time I'm at Angel Stadium, I can never find my car. Always got to, luckily my last few Mercedes all had an app where I could locate my car with it. So
at JFK, I always take a picture of it. I don't want to be
That's what I do.
I feel overly confident that I'm going to remember, but I'm like, 5 days from now, 4 days from now, I mean, I may remember, but I'd like to have this security in my pocket just in case something goes wrong.
When you get back.
I do that with my car, and I do that with hotel rooms. If you were to look at my camera roll, like there's probably more pictures of hotel room numbers than there are selfies of me.
That's funny.
That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because every night could be different. It's like, I'm checking into 3 hotels sometimes in a week. And it's like, okay, where am I this time?
Jess, have you ever gone to the hotel room, put your key in the slot and went, oh, crap, that's the hotel I was in, the hotel room number from last trip.
Wrong floor, right, whatever. So many times. Like the things I've done, it's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, Arnie. It's me, Arnie.
All right, gentlemen and lady, my chariot has arrived.
All right.
And since we are about to wrap up the show anyway, I'm just going to take it down.
Do you have a driver for your chariot?
Yes, it is called the NJ Transit Bus Driver.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
Happy weekend.
See you later, Dave.
No. I am in a position, thankfully, in my life,
yeah,
where I can afford to have a $5,000 car, $500,000 vehicle driven for me.
There you go.
To take me home every day.
David, before you go, tell the guy behind you that you've got better headphones than he does.
He's gone.
Oh my God.
It looked like his bus was leaving without him. I hope it worked out.
Oh, you know what would have been funny if we would have kept the camera on. We would have to watch him run.
So the cool thing is that this station is located in such a way that the buses, it's all stacked, but the buses get to go down a ramp and go pretty much straight with an express lane through the tunnel right into Jersey. Here he's back.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. My phone had dropped out. I wasn't sure what you were saying.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But,
tell the guy behind you that you've got a better set of headphones than he does.
Craigie, I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday about 12:30, 1 o'clock your time, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'll let you know when we land.
Call me tomorrow and we'll talk about where we're meeting.
Well, I'm going to be going to Hermosa Beach. I don't know how close that is to you.
Yeah, not far.
I'm going to be going to it's a really great diner right there on Hermosa Beach that I love. And I go to every time I'm out there. I have to go. Okay. So I'll let you know when I land because I have to go to Hertz and get the car anyway.
Well, Dave, suddenly you look the best you've ever looked. That's awesome.
Is that because I'm sharing my bus ticket?
No, it's because there's no image of you whatsoever. Oh, there you go.
Well, yeah, I'm doing a Jess. I think I'm doing a you. Me and my 4-year-old son are flying out to LA on Tuesday, going to Disneyland all day Wednesday, and flying home Thursday.
That's a quick trip, but at least you're taking him to Disneyland. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys. Craig, I'll see you on Tuesday, buddy.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Take care, brother. Bye.
I wonder why I decided to go all the way to California instead of just down to Florida. It's like half the time.
I think it was just let's do the original.
Yeah.
You know? And in fact, I think it's because they're going to California Adventure. That's why.
Because he wants Cars Land. That's what it was about.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. Yeah, that made sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So Jess, his son Fox loves cars. So how much fun is it going to be for him to take that little guy?
That'll be amazing
to see that, right?
So my son, when he was, I tried to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom for the first couple of years and didn't make it that long.
Yeah.
Went back as a consultant and worked a couple days a week, but like my son would say, "Hey mom, I want to go to the park."
Yeah.
And the park meant, because we had the passes, we'd just drive up to Disney and like literally we'd go do a few rides and get lunch and he'd pass out and we'd drive home.
Wow.
Right. It was like, so it was super special, but but then he got to the point, he's like, I don't want Disneyland anymore. I want Legoland.
Yeah.
But I would end up over in California Adventure, like, as I know he'd be falling asleep for his nap and I'd be grabbing a glass of wine because I'm like, I can't deal with these people and the lines and all the things.
Oh yeah.
Like it's I don't know. And it's worse now, but but that was fun. It was a fun memory that we had that.
Yeah, I remember back then it was a little crowded, but not like it is now. Now it's a freaking disaster every time you go. You've got to you got to plan. You've got to have it's got to be like a SWAT team and get in and out.
You need private equity to give you money to get all the fast passes.
You need Craig to get a tour guide.
we had a tour guide. Yeah.
Oh, lovely! I've never done that.
That was absolutely amazing. We jumped the queue at almost everything, and if we did wait in line, it was less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Well, it's the way to do it, man. I did it at Knott's Scary Farm with Colin a couple of years ago, and got invited by just some group of like clients and front of the line for everything, back of house tours, like.
Yeah.
And of course, Colin is now like, that's the only way I want to do the theme park. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of pull.
See, I'm waiting for Chase to get a little bit bigger. And when he's got the height where he can get on all the rides, I'm taking him to Disneyland and I'm going to have just a tour for the two of us. And we're going to hit everything. And then the next time he goes with his dad, he's going to go, I want to come back with Grandpa. We don't have to wait in line with him.
Great strategy.
Because you can't go on the big rides, dude. You could like get away with doing the minimum time with the tour guide. And the kid will, man, that was
that's the way to do it. Get him his signatures from all of the characters he likes. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that again. I got to get over there. We're all over here in the Hausman household. We're all wanting to do a Disney trip again, but it just seems like a whole lot of effort and stress to do it. So
Well, and don't stay in Anaheim. You guys can stay in my guest room, or Craig with Mackay.
Yeah.
You can sleep with Mackay.
Hey,
just don't bring a balloon because she'll freak out.
Yeah. There's a couch bed in the studio, so somebody can sleep down there and somebody else can sleep upstairs. So.
I know, for sure. All right, let's do the final segment of the show. So, Jess, you gotta share with us anything you want. You deserve a shameless plug. What's going on with the hospitality fiber queen in the work world?
Corning Corning is still pushing fiber to the room. Forget about category cable, Cat 6, Cat whatever. Yep. Take fiber to the room. Wi-Fi 7.
Hey, listen, as a cat owner, I'm a little hurt by that comment.
I hate
over there.
Useless information. Cats hate me, and I hate them.
Oh my goodness!
You don't like me at all.
It's a good thing I'm wearing headphones. I don't want to.
Oh, I just had that discussion with somebody recently. I'm like, I get along with everybody but cats. But yes, so Wi-Fi 7's coming in. What we have determined is a Wi-Fi access point with Wi-Fi 7 will require 4 category cables, where one piece of fiber will power it enough. So
yeah,
just trying to educate the hospitality world on that, as opposed to what has always been done in the past.
I'm still blown away by the people that made my mom's cookware are now running the universe of the internet. It's so insane.
How do you guys know the story of the Apple iPhone?
Listen,
it's
I don't know. But I also listen. I've been to the Corning factory in upstate New York, so I feel like I'm totally old school. This was 1982.
I think we should podcast from up there. But so Glenn, this is my idea. Yeah. I want to bring a couple hotel execs up to Corning, New York for a full tour of our R&D facilities, but also do a thought leadership roundtable.
That'd be great.
It'd be fun to have you host that.
But, let's figure that out.
Museum of Glass, and I've been trying to put it together.
So cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
So let's try to. I was trying for last year, but let's see. I saw you had an announcement with Hotel Business, so
I'm doing one of those. I'm doing their the Hot Topics deals and stuff like that.
So maybe I do a live Hot Topics, because I did one virtually last year. But let's talk about that. That might be fun.
For sure. Right. This is your plug. We don't need to be plugging me. Sully
Fridays.
No,
I'll plug you. I like taking care of my friends. We're good.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Speaking of our friends, March 1st and 2nd, Craig, I'm going to California. Why am I doing that?
6th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference. Glenn Hausman is moderating our Hotel Refuel. Up your F&B game. So food and beverage has gotten very, very important. So we've got a great panel for that. We've got a great panel for hotel transactions and getting them closed on time. It's very critical right now that you're able to do that. And then we've got, just a great event. Lots of information, lots of networking. And we've got a labor panel. It's the first time we've touched on that subject. So it's a full day. And we've got a welcoming party on the 1st, where our hotel brand sponsors are responsible for that. And Jessica will be there. She is one of our sponsors as well. And join us March 1st and 2nd, 2023. And this Tuesday, producer Danny and I wrap season 7 of Click Connect.
Nice.
Our last episode till after the Click conference. We're going to take a small break, and then we're going to go right back into production with brand new episodes, season 8. So, and then 3-Minute Thursdays with my brother Glenn. Yeah. Useless information and topics.
Hey, for sure. Be sure to join us at the California Lodging Investment Conference, CLIconference.com. CLIconference.com. We hope to see you there. We're also going to be doing a special Friday night audit from there. It's going to be a mini edition, probably about 30 minutes or so. Then we're going to be turning it over to the boys from the PM shift, let them do their thing. So that'll be pretty excited. But we did want to have a little fun, but we also want to mingle. We want to hang out. We want to have little cocktails off air. So we're going to try to have a little best of both worlds strategy over there. Check out No Vacancy Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, noon Eastern time. Today, I recorded a show with the chairman of Omni, Peter Strebel, that we're going to be running shortly. So we got that done ahead of time because my travel schedule is going to be picking up. We got some great stuff. Check out our interview with Greg Jassim, the CEO of Extended Stay Americas from last week. That was a good one. Maybe it was a week before that. I don't know. Time's going so fast. We got a lot of great stuff. Go to novacancynews.com. So for Jess, Sully Fridays, myself, Weekend G, have yourself a fabulous weekend. We'll see you next time right back here on the one and only Friday Night Audit, unless, of course, Sully Fridays gets abducted by aliens. See you next time.
Uh-oh.